1418. I hope you can hear me. Can everybody hear me? I have to set things up just right. Okay. Make sure this is turned. Okay. Make sure this is good. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me? Testing. Okay, I can hear. Thanks, everyone. All right, so I'm coming on pretty late. We're going to be burning the midnight oil, but it can't be helped because today's been a big news day. It seems like Bill Hicks is in the news. The usurper of the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office is in the news. The fraud continues. I don't know why he's not in handcuffs. I don't know why. This is all politics. This is not justice. This is just politics. And so I put up a little meme to help people understand. And this is costing us money that can go to our law enforcement community. You see, because he's taking over $50,000 to pay for his legal expenses. He's going to need more than that, I think. And why are the taxpayers having to foot the bill for this usurper who is betraying our Constitution, betraying the community? It's just, so I will continue to tell everybody what's going on. And we absolutely have the open records. We absolutely have the evidence. And yet, because the politics has become so unjust, and they have gotten away with not abiding by their oaths. See, this is the thing. They don't take their oaths seriously. And otherwise, we would absolutely have him in handcuffs. And those that have put forth this fraud on the court, fraud on our justice system, fraud on Governor Abbott. This is absolutely a fraud on Governor Abbott. And they let this continue to rob the people there of El Paso. And get this is what is the conflict of interest. And here we are, 1,418 days since Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss footprint, and we still don't have his remains. We want the rest of his remains, right? They have the rest of his remains. We want it. We don't have any of his remains. Where are his remains? So get this. This is so important for people to understand. Joanne Bernal has resigned. Today was her last, no, I think it was the 7th. So June 7th was her last day, I guess. Her immediate resignation. She wanted to run to the hills, get the heck out of Dodge, retire, whatever you want to call it. And it is just the oddest thing because it's way before her time. And, she has a lot of problems, absolutely a lot of problems. She, for the civil rights group, she brought forth this SB4 case to the federal court. She's the one that took it to represent these civil rights attorneys, as I've understand. And then now her office is the one approving the, so they're suing Bill Hicks, and then they deny him the money to um, have a defense, right? To use the money for his defense, rightfully so, because he's a usurper of the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office. He's not even there legally, right? He can't even be sued properly, right? And so now they approve the very office that is suing him is approving the over $50,000 in the drug money, the drug forfeiture funds that are supposed to be for law enforcement, right? For law enforcement. And so again, the El Pasoans get shortchanged because of this usurper, this lawlessness in the judicial system, the criminal judicial system. And, our son's case absolutely depends on a valid person being the prosecutor, right? So he needs to get out of there because he's not valid, because he's not the proper district attorney. He's not the proper prosecutor of a capital murder case. And we know that because of the open records, but also because we've been told by Loretta Lynn Hewitt. She's a hero. And, we know from other pieces of evidence that he is absolutely fake, that he's a usurper. Well, he's not a fake criminal. He's a real criminal. He's the real criminal. That's the usurper of the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office that's committing a fraud on the courts, committing a fraud on the people of El Paso, committing a fraud on Governor Abbott, and really obstructing justice in our son's case, the capital murder case that took place on the Fort Bliss footprint, and also obstructing justice in the Walmart mass shooting case and other capital murder cases. So all he can do is do plea deals. He cannot prosecute, and it's very clear now he's going to take $53,000 and more to fund his own defense. That was approved by the very people that are suing him, bringing forth the very office, the county attorney, the very office that is suing him. This is not justice. This is just politics. It is just all politics. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was General Garrett. General Garrett, who absolutely has also forgotten his oath. He is not to be honored. He just forgot who he is, or he is who he is, and it's not who we think he is. I believe that there are conflicts of interest. I believe that there absolutely something stinks to high heaven when it comes to General Garrett, who's now retired, okay? But, when all this was going on, and he called, I was in the truck, I remember. It's all on record. And, all he could do is offer his thoughts. He could not, he was just tied to do anything else, right? Here's a 4-star general do nothing. A 4-star general do nothing. and it was just, absolutely heartbreaking. And then you learn why he can do nothing. Um, and I feel like he has some real issues in this because, um, he was Richard's four-star general, and he absolutely knew that Richard was a whistleblower. He absolutely knew that Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss. You cannot be the four-star general and not know that Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss, because of, where is the security cameras, and, and then to know that, the connection with the Walmart mass shooting case. So really, Garrett is up to no good. The evidence is so overwhelming that he is absolutely stinky, and up to no good. And he needs to be stripped of everything that we've honored him with, in my estimation, because of, if our evidence is correct, um, yeah, he also needs to be in handcuffs. And, that is really, um, so sad to say. It really, this is so heartbreaking that our own generals that we give everything to, we give them our respect and our honor. We give them, a beautiful retirement package. We give them everything in life, housing, drivers, everything, helicopters, travel, holidays, everything. We give them everything, and and they pay us back by betraying us, by being stinky, by being no good, by being a do nothing, except for, um, I would say it would be criminal activity. Um, because remember, the last days I've been talking about this criminal network on Fort Bliss in relation to Dallas Hart, and Dallas Hart being Richard's platoon leader. You don't think Garrett, General Garrett, who needs to be stripped, just Garrett, just Garrett, he needs to be stripped. You don't think that he knows that, Dallas Hart is Richard's platoon leader? You don't think that he knows how Jonathan Ambrose fits into this? You don't think he knows how Danae Katzen Gonzalez Ambrose fits into this? Because Jonathan Ambrose is military. He's prior military, um, and you don't think that they know all of what's going on. Um, so it's just so disgusting to have talked to him on the phone, and I felt a little bad because, and I don't now. I don't now. But at the time, you're so, I don't want to say desperate, but, um, Richard was being smeared. He was being smeared. And I'm like, I don't care. Where is he? I don't care what you have to say. I don't care that you want to dehumanize him. I love him. I love him. He's human to me. And so, where is he? You know, and I was yelling at, I think I was really yelling at General Garrett, and he deserved it. Absolutely. Just a do nothing, up to no good. And I can't say he's doing nothing. He's up to, what he does is up to no good. And he's profited off of being up to no good. And, it's just like General McConville, too. But I really wanted to focus on General Garrett because he absolutely knows, about Dallas Hart. He absolutely knows about, uh, Major General Clem Coward and, the retaliation, that led up to the murder of Richard, the absolute brutal murder of Richard, the dismemberment of Richard. He absolutely knew, and all he could offer was his thoughts. Um, when one of his soldiers is being brutally murdered for wanting to do his duty, to be a whistleblower, to not allow children to be trafficked, to not allow our weapons and our ammunition to be trafficked, to not let the narcotics to be trafficked, and he doesn't want to have Richard Six. He doesn't care about his soldier. You know, it's he, and absolutely with the power that he has in position, he could call out this usurper district attorney in the 34th Judicial District, using taxpayer funded monies that were, drug seizures money that's supposed to go to law enforcement, and because now they're not, the taxpayers have to, pay that bill. And so it's just really sickening. It's really sickening, and it's just not justice. It's just politics. This is all politics. Loretta Lynn Hewitt was absolutely right, and Dallas Hart is absolutely Richard's platoon leader, because they could easily prove otherwise, and they can't. And we've asked them point blank, and we have too many witnesses. We have too much records that prove otherwise, and that's why they can't perpetuate the lie, because there's too much evidence out there to prove otherwise. And they absolutely know who Jonathan Ambrose is, and all of that is coming out. And so we ask those that know things, that were in the unit, that were at Fort Bliss, that saw things, that knew things. You don't want to be part of this case, okay? It's a capital murder case. You do not want to be part of it. It's part of the Walmart mass shooting case, which is also a capital murder case. And Texas has the death penalty, and you don't want to be part of it. You want to come clean. You want to make El Paso better. You do not want these criminals to get away with it and be part of that criminal network. You don't want to. So I would say come forward, come clean, find a way, make a way to do it. I think it's very, very important. And that's really the statement for tonight. Thank you so much, Anicia, for coming on with your prayers and your love. I think it's very important that this gets shared, that people leave comments, because we have a usurper in the 34th Judicial District Attorney's Office getting approved to use the drug forfeiture funds for his defense. So this criminal is using county monies, and the county, the very people that know, that have been told that Bill Hicks is a usurper, and that Marian Raskin Ortiz is illegal and unqualified. They absolutely know. They've been told over and over again for years, way before we knew. And they're approving $53,000 plus money for Bill Hicks, the usurper, the criminal. And then that's Joanne Bernal's office. See, that's Joanne Bernal's office. And what does she do? She resigns, and she's getting out of Dodge, right? she resigned. So I think this is very important to share for people to understand what is happening, and to contact the courts, contact Governor Abbott and say, wait a minute, we have a fraud on the courts, a fraud on the governor's office, and we need to address this. And we really appreciate that, because we need a legitimate district attorney, a prosecutor in that office to prosecute Richard's case. So that's very important. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, and I will be back tomorrow.